I believe the best shows that I've seen or produced or have ever been a part of do a couple of things. They tug at your heartstrings, they make you think, and they make you move.
You are now listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. The show is designed to help you grow your mobile app audience and get advice from experts in your industry. Now, here's your host, Sean Garvey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. I am your host, the architect here, Sean Garvey. Thank you for tuning in to this great, amazing edition of the BV Mobile App Podcast, in which we help you build your brand and get you to the next level by introducing professionals in the industry to help you get to the next level. And before we get started, want to let you know that we have the website bvmobileapps.com. If you or anybody else out there that is interested in getting your app customized, stay tuned. We're going to give you information on how you can get your app customized by our very own BV Mobile Apps. We got that information coming up later on in the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to have this brother on the telephone line. I know him from back in the day. I was 19, 20 years old, and I went under the moniker Brother Rashawn at WRFG 89.3 FM, in which I started my radio career there. And he has been a pillar in the community. He has hosted a lot of great events, especially in the greater metro Atlanta area. And he knows how to rock a party. He hosts dozens of concerts, dozens of parties, showcases. He's an MC. He's a host. He's a human beatboxer. He's a lecturer. He's a man of great talent, and he has his own app courtesy of BV Mobile Apps called Play My SHIX. Had to spell it out for you, ladies and gentlemen, to keep it proper. Like on the telephone lines right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, it's the one and the only D.R.E.S, the Beatnik. D.R.E.S, good day, sir.
How you doing, good brother? What's up, man?
Good, man. How are you? Long time no hear.
I'm doing all right. You know, these are some very different times we're experiencing, but I'm maintaining, trying to, stay positive, stay above it,
Yes.
But all's well over here on the home front.
Absolutely. And I remember the time, and this is one of the great moments that I had coming in contact with you in my earlier years in radio at WRFG. I remember this was back in, I want to say 2004 or 2005. You came through with the Dave Chappelle Block Party T-shirts, and I still have one to this very day.
Word.
I still have it to this very day. It's in one of my boxes here, and I haven't pulled it out since last year. It doesn't look the same. It still has the image and the performers on there, but I still have it to this very day. So much respect. I really appreciate that, D.R.E.S.
Thank you very much, man. That was a wonderful promotion to be involved with, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That means a lot.
Thank you, man. All right, so today's focus of today's segment of the BV Mobile Apps Podcast is how to be a great host and performer. You have so much knowledge about that. You've invested a lot of years in being a host and being a performer, a human beatboxer, and all things considered greatness. And we're going to give some people out here, a lot of people, as many people as we can, D.R.E.S, information and advice on how to be a great host, how to be a great performer, how to step your game up when you are on the stage facing in front of hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. But I want to first start off the segment by touching on something serious. And from my understanding, you had some health issues over the past few years. Care to talk about it for a moment?
Yeah, I've been I've been dealing with kidney failure. I got diagnosed in 2017, and I've been pretty much on a mission to try and just maintain my health and get on the transplant list. So hopefully I can find a donor to graciously give me a kidney so I can keep doing this work. that I'm doing. It's been a very long road. It definitely takes a lot out of you physically as well as emotionally. A lot of things seem to have changed overnight, but when I stop and take the time to look back at things, it took a while to get here, right? But yeah, it's allowed me to be able to make a lifestyle change, if you will. I've had to stop drinking. I've had to change my diet. Let me see. I've had to make sure that I stay away from smoking of any kind. And those lifestyle changes have definitely helped because it's allowed me to have the body weight to carry for my kidneys to carry in the state that they're in. So, so far so good. I am aside from the kidney, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. And that's pretty much just due to doctor's orders, which was very simple. Keep going down the path you're going or you're going to die, and you're going to die. So if you don't want to die, make some changes. It sounded simple enough to me. My mom ain't raised no hard-headed boys, so that was easy. But I chose to be public about what I'm going through. Hopefully in an attempt to help somebody else make necessary changes, and to help somebody that's going through it, because like I mentioned, it's a very emotional and physical road to walk. And I have come across a good number of people who have not been able to maintain the walk, and I've come across a few folks that are fighting just as hard as I am every day. I'm currently on dialysis, which actually puts me in a dialysis clinic 3 times a week for 3.5 hours at a time. I'm cleaning my blood and removing toxins that I may still have in my body that hasn't been able to be processed through my kidneys because my kidneys are ill. But for the most part, like I said, I think I'm a firm believer of circumstance. Nothing's done by chance. It's all things happen the way they're supposed to happen, and I feel like, and I try to express this as best as possible to whomever is willing to listen. Of course, I didn't choose kidney disease. Kidney disease chose me. But I think I'm in this situation because I feel as if I'm strong enough to fight. And my job is to empower as many people as possible to fight. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, yeah. A true story, a real story, and we really appreciate you for sharing that to us. And I know there are people that see you like a superhero when you're on stage. you have that secret weapon when you are on stage in front of hundreds or even thousands of people. Like the kidney disease is just a kryptonite. But when you're on stage and you have that microphone, that to me is your superpower, because you have that skill to captivate the audience and engage with them to say, hey, that's my homie D.R.E.S. That's my boy D.R.E.S. He does his thing on the mic. He helps the party keep going and going and going until it's 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. And we want people that's listening to the BV Mobile Apps podcast to listen to this story along with information that you can pass on to people, because it's all about paying it forward and passing
Right.
the torch to
Absolutely.
the new generation, to the millennials, to the people that are in the position of wanting to grow as an MC or as a host or a human beatboxer. So let's dive right into that, because
Okay.
when people look at this profession, they say, "Oh, it's so easy. Anybody can get on stage and host and can human beatbox and all that." But it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of study. And how did you become all those things? How did you become a host and a human beatboxer? Where did that come from?
Well, I've been beatboxing since I was about 14. So it's been a very long process of studying and creating my technique toward it. Um, I am I'm a student of Rozelle, the Godfather of Noise. That's my mentor.
Mm.
Um, you know, but I also come from a school where, the first rule, I come from a school in the culture that states the first rule is no biting allowed. So as much as I love studying under Rozelle, I could not, in good conscience, make a point to sound like him. Like, I didn't get involved in learning how to beatbox and becoming a beatboxer to sound like him. Like, Rozelle's style is incredible. Every human beatboxer that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and and jamming alongside of, just in random conversation or what have you. Like, it's a lot. I give a lot of respect to him because the beautiful part about it is none of us sound alike, and I'd rather keep it that way. Like, there are definitely various styles to it. And a lot of it comes from what you gravitate towards. The way I try to explain this, and hopefully the listeners will be able to keep up. I'm not going to say it's like it's super complex thing, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can, and hopefully it'll translate well. So close your eyes for a minute, audience, and imagine that you're looking at a clock, and you see 1 through 12 all around. Now, where the hands are, that's you. You're in the middle of all of that. Most rooms don't go 1 through 12. Most rooms go from 9 to 3. So if you're standing in the middle of that stage, that clock, and you're looking out at your audience is going to give you a 180-degree look. So your job is to make sure that you engage with everybody within your sight of vision. So what I tend to tell people is, what I do is I divide a room by a pie method. So I got 9 to 10. I got 10 to 11. I got 11 to 12. I got 12 to 1. I got 1 to 2. I have 2 to 3. And my job is to make sure that everybody gets to the same destination at the same time. That's my job as a host, to leave no person behind. Whether it's just on a concert, I'm just bringing on artists to come through and work, or if I'm doing a party, if I'm doing a lecture. My job is to make sure, a host's job should be to be a great shepherd of people. I hope that
Yeah.
explained it pretty well.
You said it in a nutshell, and we are just so appreciative that you shared that piece of information to our listening audience right here on the BV Mobile Apps podcast. For those who are just tuning in, we are talking to MC, host, human beatboxer, lecturer, D.R.E.S, the Beatnik, with yours truly, Sean Garvey, the architect. And I think everyone in this profession is still learning about how to improve his or her skills. Like, I'm a radio broadcaster, and every single day I'm always learning about something new in regards
Hmm.
to the radio industry, right? And now, you have platforms like YouTube and all these other different places to go to watch how-to videos. And I remember years and years ago, in those days of where we were at before, in 2003, 2004, 2005, you didn't have those type of platforms. You didn't have where you can go and see how to be a better host or how to be a human beatboxer and this, that. You had to learn from the best. You had to watch and listen to the best without so much of the internet. Even though we had the internet at that time,
Yeah.
it's just not where it is at now. But with
Right.
you, because you brought up a good point about you still learning, like, what did you have to
Hmm.
do to improve your skills, or what are you currently doing to improve your skills?
Well, one of the things that I do and I continue to do is read. Um, like I mentioned before, it's more of a task of learning human, human psychology. To find out how crowds work, how people work, and what to do in those situations. Like, I have learned that crowds will gravitate more towards what you're saying, based on how it's said. Like, like, for example, like, the quieter that I talk will make will bait an audience member to have to listen to what I'm saying. And that's an across the board thing. But the job is to make sure, no matter how big the room is, that in particular moments, I have to make it feel as intimate as possible. I don't have to scream or be bombastic with what I'm saying or how I'm saying it. My job is to pull you in, get you and to get my crowd ready for the person they actually paid to see. I'm the buffer. I refer to myself in a couple of different roles. Like, I'm the buffer between artist and audience. I'm a lifeguard with no pool. I'm a travel agent with no destination. My job is to take people on vacation without leaving their feet. And I have to use every tip and technique at my disposal to make sure that happens. Some days it works. Some days it doesn't. Like, I can admit I've had bad days on stage. I've had bad moments on stage where where as much as I would want for it to happen, it just didn't happen. And I can't front and not take it home with me. Like, it'll bother me. I can't, like, oh, well, that was just one bad show. The hell with it. I'll get them on the next one. Like, soon as I'm done, I'm dissecting. Whether the show was good or bad, I'm dissecting what went right and what went wrong. How can I improve on what how can I improve upon what I did right, and how can I fix and adjust and pivot to get the desired effect that I need based on what I did wrong? Like, how can I change what I did wrong? So it's a constant tweaking, of sorts, but you have to.
Due to the fact that this pandemic that we're still going through has changed a whole lot. They say it's the new normal, especially for people that are in entertainment and how people look at entertainment. What are those changes? And do you think, this is a two-part question, do you also think that these changes are detrimental, or do you think they are going to help make the entertainment industry even more better? Let's say you.
Okay, so to answer, I guess, the first part of your question, what I can tell you is this. We're now, if we weren't before, we are truly in the information age. So as far as mankind is concerned, I'm trying to make this as macro as possible and try to bring it to be as micro as possible. So bear with me, please. Your audience, please bear with me. I know I get a little long in the tooth with my answers, but just please bear with me. So we're in the information age. So which means that now, instead of information being at everybody's fingertips, as we are all, experiencing by right of having computers on our phones and television and, the internet and all of that, our job now as creatives is, in order to keep step with what we're living in, the time that we're living in, this is an age of content. We all have to start creating content. And before this started, there were a couple of early adapters, like such as you guys. Like, you guys are early adapters. Y'all saw that when you guys were working at radio, that there's a whole nother need that needs to be filled. Once that question started getting asked, what is it? What do we do? That's where all of the other ideas got birthed. Now, so fast forward to right now, to 2020. We're living in a time where everybody's going to have to take it back to the drawing board. Everybody. I don't give a damn what you do. Everybody's got to take it back to the drawing board and figure out how to create content to keep feeding their respective audiences. And then you have to figure out how to integrate technology into it to make it as easily digestible as it once was before this happened. I want to make sure I heard the second part of your question.
Well, the second part was the changes within the entertainment industry. Are they detrimental? Will it be detrimental, or will it help make the entertainment industry even more better?
So I'm sort of 50-50 in the sense that I feel like it actually can be beneficial when done right, when executed right. But I think the problem is we live in such a microwave age. Everybody wants to run and jump without looking, like the whole adage of looking before you leap. Like, you have two types of people. You have those that literally will run and jump. Like, I can jump the Grand Canyon and go and try to get a running start and jump and fall to their death. And then you have another school of thought with people that are like, well, I can jump the Grand Canyon, but let me put together a solid plan on how this is going to work. if I don't have the immediate answer, let me go and find and surround myself with people that are just as smart, if not smarter than me, that can help me achieve the goal of jumping across the Grand Canyon. So there's going to be, in my opinion, in my estimation, there's going to be, this is the beginning of a weaning period. Like, this whole quarantine period that we're experiencing during this pandemic is, in my opinion, going to separate the planners from the jumpers. Those that plan to jump from those that just go out and jump. There's going to be a lot of crash and burn and fail coming very soon, if not already here. Like, everybody's not going to make it creatively. I'm not speaking in terms of, human life, although that's getting out of hand as well. But sticking to the topic of discussion here, everybody's not going to make it. And once everybody figures that part out, because this is going to determine whether or not you're doing this for real or if you're just playing around with it. You gonna marry it, or you just want it as a side piece? Are you committed, or are you just flirting? And there's a lot of flirts out here that have no intention of being serious with it.
Well, I hope a lot of our BV mobile app podcast listeners are listening, not only listening to this conversation, but also taking some important notes here. I'm taking notes as we go along myself, but I hope you too that is listening is taking some important notes from a veteran who has been doing this thing for 25 years. D.R.E.S the Beatnik right here on the BV Mobile Apps podcast with Sean Garvey. We only got a little bit of time left in the podcast, D.R.E.S. I want to ask you a couple of questions really quick about marketing and promotion. And you have been known to be a great promoter over the years too. What quick tips and advice can you give to our listeners in regards to promoting an event or project?
Well, so the first thing that I believe, most creatives should do is to treat their brand like a television network. And I'll explain what I mean. A network is never the days where 2:00 in the morning comes and the Star Spangled Banner gets played and then it goes off air. Those days are over. A television network is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They're either entertaining you or they're pitching you something. Most creators have to start moving and thinking like taking that model into consideration. You shoot a music video, great. You put it out, great. Don't give the whole thing away. Only give 30 seconds away. You do a podcast. You recap your podcast, and then at the end, throw a commercial on, advertising the podcast and where to go and get it. If there's other things that are attached to the brand that is the podcast, like, check out the BV Mobile App Store. Nice little 30-second to 1 minute commercial at the end of your blurb of content that your morsel of content that you're giving to the public.
Right.
The job becomes engagement and how to do it effectively. Where everybody's short attention span.
Yeah.
Like I don't expect. I put it like this: I don't expect those that are out here listening to this to get to the end of this. With everything that we're sitting here talking about and all the gems that we're dropping, I don't expect everybody to get to the end of this. But as a lecturer, you always go into it with that expectation. everybody's not going to get it. And it's not for everybody. It's only for those who want it. So if you don't want it, turn the dial. But as a programmer, you can chop this thing up as many ways as you want to draw people in to want to listen to the rest. And every morsel you drop, every breadcrumb you drop to get everybody to come to where the meat of the content is, you drop the morsel, give a commercial. Let them know who's bringing this to you. Like, if you're an artist, like I said, you don't have to you don't even have to play the music video. You could go ahead and literally just film recording the song.
Yeah.
Cut it off at 10 seconds or 20 seconds. And then, new single available on all platforms, available now. What did I just watch? Like, you know what you just watched. You know you like what you watched. Mm-hmm. Now you know where to go get what you just watched or just heard.
Yeah.
It's the whole, this whole business is a commercial. All of it is a commercial. All of it is selling you something. Like, that's my favorite song. That's great. That was somebody's commercial? What you talking about? Mm-hmm. That's somebody's commercial. That's somebody advertising to you what they do and how they do it in hopes that you'll buy it. Purple Rain was a great song. Yeah, Prince made a whole movie based around the album because he couldn't get any commercials. Mm-hmm. Warner Brothers wasn't making any commercials for that album. So he went, spent his advance money, got a no-name director, got all his boys and girls together, banged out a script in a weekend, and shot a movie. Made a cult classic.
Yeah. But
it's a commercial. When you go back and watch Purple Rain, it's a commercial. It's a long-form commercial.
And it's so interesting you said that. I didn't think about that, but it also, to fast forward to now, it makes me think of Beyonce's Lemonade.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't a Purple Rain, it wouldn't have been a Lemonade.
Yeah.
Hell, if it wasn't a Frampton Comes Alive, there wouldn't have been a Homecoming. Since we're going to stay on the subject of Beyonce, like if Peter Frampton didn't play Frampton Comes Alive live on camera, hell, if Diana Ross didn't play Central Park in the Rain on HBO, there wouldn't be room for a Beyonce.
Yeah.
With Homecoming at Coachella.
That is a smart way to look at it. That is a smart way to look at
it.
It's
all a commercial.
Advertisement.
And most art, and the other thing I try to express and explain to artists too, study, not to copy style or anything like that, but to understand that there's nothing new under the sun. You may think you're doing something extremely, extremely dope and original, like there's somebody else has done it already. They just didn't do it quite the same way you did it, but they've done it already.
Yeah.
Like I don't knock any artist that makes any music. I don't care if it, I'm not the old man get off my lawn type dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to call it mumble rap? Okay, whatever. Like, I don't call it that. It's trap. If you want to classify it as trap music, fine, go ahead. Half those trap rappers are not trap dealers, but they're making a sound that appeals to that demographic and the people that love them. Okay, cool. So, all of that being said, I know that it takes a specific level of intelligence to make not just a song, but to make an album. I don't believe any artist is stupid. No matter how much they want to play stupid in public, I don't believe that any artist is stupid. It takes a lot of creativity. It takes a lot of brain power to make music. It takes even more to make great music.
Wow. D.R.E.S, the Beatnik, ladies and gentlemen, on the BV Mobile Apps podcast. Sean Garvey, we just giving you this great wealth of information. If you're going to be passionate about this profession, whether it's a MC, host, a human beatboxer, lecturer, or all of the things above, you definitely have to learn the craft, study the craft, practice as much as possible every single day. And don't come into the arena half-stepping. You have to have your things in order. Now, I have to ask you this last question, and it ties into what I just said a few seconds ago about people coming into this profession and learning all that they can to be a MC, to be a host, to be a human beatboxer, lecturer. What does it take to put on a good show? Matter of fact, let's just change the word good, because good is kind of
subjective.
It's subjective, right? But a magnificent show, an amazing show, a once in a lifetime show. What does it take to do that?
I believe the best shows that I've seen or produced or have ever been a part of do a couple of things. They tug at your heartstrings, they make you think, and they make you move. If your show isn't doing any of those things, wait and keep practicing, keep developing. Like it, just because you recorded your single today, you might not be ready to perform it tomorrow. Give your stage show the same care and consideration that you did when you wrote those lyrics and went in the booth to spit your song, because you're literally creating a moment. You're creating an experience. Know who you're talking to as well. If you don't know the type of demographic that you're going after, you're not going to know how to talk to them. You're not going to know what makes them tick. You're not going to know what they gravitate towards, what they like, what they don't like, if you don't understand your audience. You have to understand your audience. I think in terms of magnificent shows, like I said, a good show is capturing a moment of time. Like take for example, I'll give you a modern day example of what I thought went down, and I thought it was genius. When Travis Scott went and played on Fortnite, performed a concert on Fortnite, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was genius. That was genius. That was knowing your audience, knowing your demographic, and making a point to appeal to them. And I hope nobody does it ever. I hope nobody ever does something like that. Like, that's his thing. Him and his, he and his people were smart enough to come with that idea and pitch that to the people at Fortnite, and they worked technology to make that moment happen. At that particular day, that particular time, midnight comes, this dude is literally coming out of the sky while millions of people are on the game, playing the game. He comes down like hate to say it, came down like God. You know what I'm saying? Hit the earth. Everybody's jumping everywhere because of the aftershock in the game. Wow. Like, what? Wait. You everybody's watching this concert. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's watching this concert through their game. Like, they're not stopping to play the game. They're literally still playing the game. They're in the game, watching this amazing thing happen. And it was amazing. Artists 2 decades back couldn't have done this.
I've never seen anything like that myself either.
And honestly, and I hope to God you never do. Because if somebody else shows up trying to do that, you know what's going to happen. Oh, man, he biting. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just fake Travie. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's going to say something like that. Hand to God, it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. But it won't be the same. It won't be the same as Travis tried to do it or Travis done it. I mean, in reality, there will be copycats. There will be people that see something so amazing and then they want to create their own way of doing it or do it the exact same way that person did it. Like, we just brought up, great example, D.R.E.S. We just brought up Beyonce, Homecoming. Look what happened after that. Taylor Swift came in and was either trying or did the exact same thing that Beyonce done. And you look what happened. She got so much flack from that, you know, but nobody couldn't do it the way Beyonce did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to the point where like, she's at a point where her contemporaries are like upset. Who was it? Was it Lana Del Rey that just went public talking some crap about, like, just wanting all the smoke?
Oh, yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like, really?
At the end of the day, D.R.E.S, originality matters. It's all about originality and setting something up for other people to come behind you and not necessarily do the exact same thing you do, but just see what they do and create your own. Not in the way that they did it. Don't do the same thing that they did, you know, but take that as motivation, as inspiration, and say, hey, you know,
like,
you do you.
The rules haven't changed. You gotta have style and learn to be original.
Yeah.
Or everybody's gonna want to diss you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real. That's not an old man speaking. That's a gem. D.R.E.S gave a gem in '88. That's a gem that these new artists swear up and down they don't have to abide by. You know, like, no, you know, he out. He made it work. I'm gonna make it work, man. You better put your own twist to it.
Absolutely.
If you know what's good for you, you'll put your own twist to it.
This is the longest conversation I have ever had with you, but it contains a lot of great thoughts and perspectives and information and advice that I literally just ran out of paper, jotting down so much stuff that you passed on to me and to the listeners. It's not just me, but to the listeners that are listening to the podcast. And before we let you go, D.R.E.S, we got to talk about your app. We got to talk about Play My, however you want to say it, ladies and gentlemen. Play My Ish, Play My Shix with an X at the end, or Play My SHIX, courtesy of BV Mobile Apps. Let's talk about it. What is the app, and what can people expect from the app?
Okay, so the app is based on a live listening party game show experience. So Play My Shix is actually an event that myself and DJ Deliver created to provide an avenue to break new music and to help artists get a footing on, you know, to get started on their journey towards becoming a professional in their craft. Now, I define being a professional as somebody who does a particular thing and gets paid a specific wage for doing it. So That being said, most artists out here listening, if you've never gotten paid for what you do, you're still an amateur. It's okay, but you're still an amateur. There's nothing professional about it. You ain't got paid, you're not a pro. That being said, this whole idea came from wanting to create a show that helps to cultivate new fans, that helps artists cultivate new fans, and to help fans have an idea of helping to shape the soundscape. As a listener, you know what you like and you know what you don't like.
Yeah.
And if asked, you know exactly what you would say when asked whether, why do you like it or why do you hate it? Okay, so let's make this fun. And we created a game show that's based off of that. Artists come through, we play 2 songs per artist. We ask artists to bring their best 2 songs. We play them live in front of our audience. And then at the end of each play, at the end of each song, the audience votes whether or not they like the song. If they like it, they flash a green scorecard. If they hate it, they flash a red scorecard. And it has helped our show out tremendously having an app. Because one, live shows don't have apps. We can start there and work our way back. Talent shows, showcases, whatever. Nobody has an app. And we caught so much flack for even wanting to develop an app. Like, why would you do that, man? That's just stupid. It's a waste of money. Da-da-da. Like, no, it's not. And when we were doing the live monthly show, like I said, it worked out perfectly. Now that we're in quarantine, now we have to figure out how to bring that experience to the phone or the tablet or the laptop. But since we're on a mobile app, we have to just concentrate on on phone users and tablet users. So now we're working that part out. On the app, we keep a blog where we update our audience on the progress on how each show went down. You kind of get a play-by-play from each episode. We also have a playlist where we have our artists that submitted their music, but we weed out the highest scores of the night, and we make that our monthly playlist. We of course keep our calendar, and we have links to video, and we even have a recap show as far as Play My Chicks is concerned, where Deliver and I make like Siskel and Ebert and review every artist that graced the stage that night. And for artists that play the game, we provide, depending on who wins, based on a 2-song score count, we provide them with a month's worth of artist development training, stage training. We help them to develop their EPK by doing a small media run, and we also give them an opportunity to perform their music the following month, and we pay them for performing on stage. So, because we're in these times that we're in now, we have to figure out how to stream what we do and continue to use the app. That's where we're at right now as far as our journey with the Play My Chicks app. And it also comes down to finding sponsors, because a lot of this stuff is not going to get paid, it's not going to get paid for just on the strength of the hustle. You know what I mean? Like, delivering myself, we're both we're forced to be in a situation like everybody else where we have to make sure that whatever money we make is used to keep our respective families alive. And that goes down from delivering myself to everybody that's involved in the show, in the production of the show. So, we got a small army of folks that we got to make sure we take care of. And once we figure out how to pitch this and sell this to sponsors, like, we know what we need in order to keep this thing moving, and we have everything in place. Now we got the vehicle built. Now we're just trying to get the fuel.
It's levels to it. It is definitely levels to it when it comes to putting together a product and selling it to the people. So it's science to it, but it's not too complicated. It's all about laying down the foundation and having a blueprint.
Right.
Yeah. Like building a house. Definitely understandable.
Yep.
And speaking of originality, because we have talked about it several times throughout the conversation, this is something that I have never witnessed or seen from an app before that D.R.E.S has just described. This is before the versus battle on Instagram. This is pre-versus battle that D.R.E.S has been putting it together. This is something that has already been done. So don't try to go out, for those that want to do the exact same thing that D.R.E.S the Beatnik has done. Don't even do it. But you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to download the app right now to your mobile device or any smartphone that you have. So make sure you go out and get the app, support D.R.E.S the Beatnik. He's always doing great things in the community and at local venues, man. And like I said, on behalf of BV Mobile Apps Podcast, we really appreciate you for taking the time to even be a part of the show, giving such a great wealth of information to our listeners. And before we let you go, D.R.E.S, go out and give people your contact information, your social handle, your social media handle. How can people get in contact with you and connect with you and want to build with you?
Well, I'm pretty much D.R.E.S the Beatnik on everything. That's D.R.E.S THABEATNIK. And that's on Twitter, that's on Instagram, that's on Facebook. That's you can put .com at the end and it'll take you to my website. You can find, like I said, like you mentioned, you can find Play My Chicks wherever you can get wherever you get your mobile apps from. We're there. Thanks to BV Mobile Apps. If you can't find or don't care to spell D.R.E.S the Beatnik, just hashtag follow the hat.
All right. All you have to do is follow the hat on social media. Just follow the hat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, sir. D.R.E.S the Beatnik, MC, host, beatboxer, lecturer, a great promoter, all things considered greatness. D.R.E.S, thank you. It's been an honor to have you on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. And our thoughts and prayers go out to you. We pray that you make a speedy recovery from this situation that you're going through. And we're definitely going to see you again, even 50 times more better on stage, giving the audience what they've been getting from you throughout your 25 years of working in this industry. So a speedy recovery to you. thoughts and prayers go out to your family, your fan base, your followers, and we can't wait to see you again, man.
Thank you so very much for allowing me the time and the platform to speak, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. D.R.E.S the Beatnik, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. Architect here, Sean Garvey. Make sure you follow me on all your social media at Sean Garvey on Facebook and at Sean Garvey ATL on Twitter and on Instagram. And this podcast is about how to be a great host and performer. So make sure if you missed out on any of what we talked about from the beginning, you can always go back and listen to it on demand. You can listen here on bbmobileapps.com. You can also get the show from anywhere, Google Podcasts, Spotify, even on our radio station, my online radio station, beatbreakradiofm.com. You can go back and listen to it 24/7 at your disposal. And make sure you tune in again to another Off the Hook BV Mobile Apps podcast. If you like all of the stuff that we talked about, feel free to email us, podcast at bbmobileapps.com. That's podcast at bbmobileapps.com. Oh, and if you want your app customized by our great folks at BV Mobile Apps Podcast or at BV Mobile Apps, make sure you go to bbmobileapps.com. That's also the same site where you can hear this interview. Go to bbmobileapps.com and have them customize your app today. This has been the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with your host, Sean Garvey, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.
It's a new year, it's a new day. We're starting it over, starting the day.
Thank you for listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with your host, Sean Garvey. For more information about BV Mobile Apps, visit the website, bvmobileapps.com. Don't forget to follow BV Mobile Apps on social media at BV Mobile Apps. Tune in again next time on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast.